What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 3. Gotta say, this episode was fucking phenomenal. Like always, Studio Bones, I love you guys. You guys outdo yourselves every week. Always dropping them fantastic episodes, and I really dig this one. So let's begin. So we start this episode off with a little bit of narration, Deku pretty much saying, like, you know, a lot of the other kids were dealing with their own set of problems back in the forest. We then pretty much go back to that little summer camp area where Kirishima and the others were. Kirishima's just like, he's like, come on, man, let me get in there. I need to help out and find Bakugo and help out everyone. And he just like, yeah, shouldn't we go in there? I mean, divide and conquer, right? And he's like, absolutely not. And the teacher, that guy, which the dude's quirk is actually blood control, which I first saw when they were like, you know, giving all the characters names, and like, you know, like they usually do, like, you know, at the Trivers, they usually have the characters what their quirks are. He said that was blood control, and I was like, blood control? What the fuck does that? Is it like is it like blood bending, like Avatar, and can control someone's blood? We see it's more or less just kind of like ice. It's more like Todoroki's ice, just with blood. You'll say that out loud. Anyway, so Kirishima's trying to get in there. Mina's like, calm down, Kirishima. And, you know, eventually then the door starts. Then someone tries to open the door. They're like, Kirishima's like, oh, it must be Aizawa. He's probably here. Okay. Now everybody's like, wait. It ends up being, then we see the silhouette come close to the door. It ends up being Dabi. He just still fires his flames, Lord. He's like, everyone get back. I forget the dude's name. The teacher pretty much just grabs Dabi's head, slams him against the wall, and be like, too slow. And then he's like trying to, like, you know, and then Dabi kind of like tries to get inside their head, and he pretty much just tells them, like, you know, that because that what it, like, you know, tell, like, you know, there are not that many of us, and that imagine what would happen, that we're here pretty much just to break heroes, kind of like the Joker did in The Killing Joke, where his whole goal in The Killing Joke was to, like, you know, that any man, that even the sanest of men can go insane after just one bad day. As we know, that one with the Joker, with, of course, after the stuff going on with the Red Hood, and when he fell into the vat of acid, and after everything else happened to him in The Killing Joke, he, of course, became the Clown Prince of Prime that we all know and love today. Yeah, dropping some comic book knowledge on y'all in my Hero Academia reviews. Anyway, so that's pretty much the League of Villains Apprentice student, like, you know, trying just to break Heroes. That's, you know, what Shigaraki's main goal is to, you know, destroy the Hero Society and all that shit. And so after he's like, what would happen if one of your own got kidnapped by us? What would that do? He's pretty much just saying, like, you know, he's pretty much just, you know, gloating at this point. I'm like, you know, you'll probably kill Hero Society when they find out that we kidnapped one of y'all, and if he especially joins our team. So then, you know, Aizawa comes in there, kicks him, and then just keeps kicking him. He's like, don't listen to him, and he keeps kicking him. And keeps kicking him. And everyone's like, Mr. Aizawa, I think you got it. Then we see what he's kicking, and turns into mud. Of course, being one of the guys, one of the other dudes' clones, where I forget, what was his name, 2 or something? And then we get back to Deku and crew. After they manage to get the Jester. I'm gonna call him the Jester for now. I'm just gonna call him the Jester. I forget what the dude's real name was. So they grabbed him after they dropped his ass to the floor, and they managed to get with everyone. They kind of have Dabi firing his flames. You got like, you know, Todoroki. He's working out against, like, what was his name, Twice or something. The black dude. he's like Dodge, like, oh, he's like firing his eyes. He's like, oh, come on, man, is that all you got? He's like, yeah, what is with this guy? You know, and then Toga gets on top of Deku. Deku can't really use his arms because he's kind of tied up, thanks to Uraraka. But oh, Lord have mercy. If you guys wondering what I think of Toga, as you've seen my last review, I think she's a crazy psycho bitch, but I don't think she's like a terrible character. I would like to see I really want to see more of her, because I do kind of dig her, because I don't like hate her, but at the same time, like, you know, she's crazy, and I would definitely like to see what else she can do later on in this season, which we'll probably see a lot more of in this season, maybe, you know, future seasons to come, and future arcs to come. So, you know, she's like, oh, man, when I first saw you, man, you would be so much cuter if you just bled a little more. And then Shoji comes in right at the last moment with a clutch, and he's like, you're not really my type, but I'll cut you anyway. And so that's it. Toga's over there going against those two. Mr. Compress, he finally, like, after he gets to, like, Dobby, after he, like, transforms out of his ball, because Dobby don't, like, get down, because, like, he'll probably get burned by his flames, and so, and actually, when they hit the flames, everyone's like, oh, it burns, and Todoroki's like, it just doesn't faze him, probably because he also has a fireworks, so he's probably, like, even, like, has, like, I don't know, immunity to fire damage, I guess. Anyway, so, so after that, Mr. Compress says, like, you got Bakugo, or Dobby asks Mr. Compress, you got Bakugo, he's like, yes, I do. Searches his pocket, he doesn't see it. And then, he's like, alright guys, we're done here, he's revealed his best trick. And then Shoji actually shows, like, has the 2 marbles in his hand, which was like Arrow and Dick was like, yes, great, we got him. Now let's get the fuck out. They try to get out, but they end up getting cornered, and then they're led, and then they are, of course, and then they're facing off against Kuroguri. How is it pronounced? Is it Kuroguri? Like, I never know exactly how to say it. Is it Kuroguri? Anyway, so he's like, he just like, looks at it, and the Deku and Kuro like, oh shit. So then he opens other portals, everyone else gets out, Toga's like, it was nice seeing you, Deku, I hope I see you again. Rest in peace, my friend. She needs Jesus. Seriously, Toga, whew, crazy Sakaguchi. Although I wouldn't low-key be surprised if she ends up getting like having a thing for Bakugo, and then Bakugo has a thing for her. Like, seriously, those guys are crazy and psychotic in their own special way. I wouldn't be surprised if they got together. It could low-key almost work. Just saying. So. And then when everyone starts taking their leave, Dobby, like, once Mr. Compress was like, hey, what about Bakugo? He's like, oh, don't worry. Like, they felt so cheap with their actions that I think I'll let them gloat a little. But then he tells, like, if I'm flaunting something shiny, that means that there's something I don't want you to see, which is a classic magic show trick by magicians. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Prestige, directed by Christopher Nolan, and stars Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, you guys know that, like, man, I'm almost about to, like, start, like, just going with The Prestige, but if you guys have not seen The Prestige, go watch it. It's a phenomenal movie. I love that's, like, one of Christian Bale's, honestly, best performances I've ever seen of him. The movie's just, I love that movie to death. Christopher Nolan. He's honestly one of my favorite all-time directors. Anyway, enough of me gushing about movies. Let's get back to the review. So he ends up, like, removing his mask partly and opening his mouth, showing off the 2 crystals. Then, a huge surprise, Aoyama, yes, you guys heard me right, Aoyama, the French dude that's too busy, probably masturbates to himself, always stares at me like, oh, look how sexy I am, and he acts like he's fucking French. Actually, and after last week, we saw him just cowering in the corner, covering his mouth, which, granted, I'm not gonna hate him for that. I mean, he is just a kid after all, and plus, I mean, knowing him, like, it's normal for him to hide against those 2 when you really don't got a plan, so I'm not gonna hate on him for that, but at the same time, I kinda have to, because, I mean, dude, you're in a hero school, you're supposed to, like, risk your lives to save people. So it's kind of like 50-50 with me on that. Like, I can kind of see if you say, like, oh yeah, Yami's a fucking coward, he's a shit hero, he should die at the hands of Stain, or like, oh, if you're on the side, like, nah, guys, come on, stop hating on Aoyama. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm 50-50 on that whole situation that happened last week, but. Oh, he actually fires his laser and actually, like, manages to get both the crystals out of his mouth. Shoji, and then Deku, Todoroki, and Shoji all rush towards him trying to get those crystals. We got Deku actually kind of, like, falls midway. I don't know if that was just because he actually just tripped, or that was just, like, or after, like, the adrenaline started, like, lessening, he started really feeling the pain, so he just kind of, like, so his body just gave out on him. That was probably what happened. His body just gave out after, like, alright, I'm done, I can't pump you with any more adrenaline. Bye, Deku! So he falls, and Todoroki and Shoji, they're still running towards him. Shoji manages to grab one, and then right as Todoroki grabs one, Dobby grabs it. He's like, too slow, kid. And then they both take the leave, and they reveal which ones they got. Of course, the League of Villains got Bakugo, and Shoji managed to get Tokoyami. And so after this, everyone is just shocked that they lost. They look at, like, the Master Fire blazing in the forest in fear. Sue and Rock manage to catch up, and Deco's just on the floor, probably screaming his head off. Yeah, just maybe I don't know, fuck shit or something. He's like, that, and we have his nervous tell him like we essentially lost. We then, tells her like, the emergency services arrived, first responders, fire department, blah 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 blah, all that shit. And so, they talked about that they still don't know where Ragdoll is. They found another piece of her helmet, but we do know. So either A, she did, or she just got her ass beat, and she's currently, like, hiding somewhere, maybe, I don't know, left for dead or something. We don't know what's going to happen to Ragdoll yet, anyway. So then we return back to UA. The place is swarmed with reporters. Be like, can we get a statement for UA after the shit that just happened? And then we get back to school. The principal talking about, the purpose of that summer camp was to prepare students for villain attacks. The irony is shameful. And so, we got everyone talking about, that we should prepare for this, more of a shit come, but then, we got Midnight over there saying, like, not really, we couldn't really prepare for this. I mean, they had pieces that we didn't know they had, so it really could have really done much better. And we got All Might just sitting there being like, while my students were risking their lives, I was chilling at home, having a relaxing soak in the bath. And then Mike says, alright, I think I'm going to say this right now. There's a traitor among us. Now, guys, I am an anime only, but I do know that apparently there was this thing in the manga, like, I've heard rumblings about there's being this traitor or something, and, like, cause, like, letting you guys know, I spent a lot of time on YouTube, and I follow a lot of anime YouTubers. It's predominantly a lot of anime, and I do know about this, like, apparent traitor that's supposedly in UA, mostly from Chibi. Chibi does, like, some videos, like, who was the traitor, and then there's also a friend of mine at school. She's a huge fan of Hiroaka, watches the anime, reads the manga, she's actually caught up with the manga. And, she asked me, like, one time, like, oh, who do you think the traitor is? I'm like, who? And so, oh, I'm so sorry. She probably thought I read the manga, too, but, yeah. So I know there is a traitor, apparently, in UA. I don't know who it is, and manga readers, please, for the love of God, do not spoil in the comment section below. Please don't. Refrain from that, so. Come on, man. Please. Anyway, so, yeah, if you want my theory now, I'm going to. I got two guys that think might be the traitor, and that's only because I always expect the least expected. Aoyama and Minata. Those are two guys you expect the least to actually betray UA because how they are, but they wouldn't. But you wouldn't. But I'm calling it might be them, although it could be someone else. It could be All Might for all I know. I don't know who's betraying UA. I don't even know there is a traitor. So whatever the case may be, whoever it is. Let's keep going. So, after that, Mike, we don't know Mike's going on. Midnight's like, relax, man. And it's like, oh, come on. No, only the teachers and the pussycats knew. So how the hell did they know? So I don't know, this is just Mike just talking out sheer paranoia. Or, he's actually onto something. Well, I guess he is onto some knowing that there was a huge thing in the manga being discussing about there is some traitor or something. Anyway. So, then we get back to Deku. He's been talking about how he went in and out. Actually, there was while these guys are trying to discuss what to do next, All Might's phone goes on. It's like, a phone call is here! A phone call is here! I love All My Phones. Like Christopher Sabat. Like, also, guys, this episode was also dubbed as well, so it was nice to see that we're going to get more than just, what they said, which was going to get 6 episodes, same day simuldubs. So hopefully we can keep this going for at least the first 12 episodes, maybe, at least for the first arc. Well, I guess it's technically the end of the first arc, and this is going to be like the start of the Bakugo retrieval arc, I guess. So, then we get back to Deku, and back to All Might, And All Might says, how he answers the phone and actually ends up being that police officer that we saw at the end of season 2. So this cop and All Might have like a Batman and like Jim Gordon type of relationship here. Like we got like this cop that's close friends with like All Might, and to always tell him like, hey, here's some things we got, like, about the League of Villains. It's kind of like Batman and Jim Gordon with like the bat signal, And pretty much just tell him that we may have the location of where the League of Villains might be hiding. Because of, this abandoned, abandoned bar or something, this abandoned building that's, like, a hidden bar in it. So we're thinking about investigating going in there when we get the green light. And All My Transformers, so he tells, hey, man, we're gonna need the heroes' cooperation with this, so you in? And he says, and then Transformers I will tell those villains, I am here! And so we then get back to Deku. He talks about how he was slipping out in and out of consciousness after everything was going down. He apparently had seizures. Yeah, seizures after everything went down. Damn. I mean, we knew his arms were fucked up, but we didn't know they were that fucked up. I mean, seizures. I mean, I'm no doctor, but god damn, that he must have really done a number on his. All for One must have done a really bad number on his body after the fight with Muscular and everything that went down after that when he was just running on pure adrenaline for him to start getting fucking seizures. Damn, I'm still shocked by that. Like, damn, Horikoshi, damn. So he was slipping out of consciousness. Apparently, the cops came in, Recovery Girl came in, and try to fix him up as best as she can. But Deku's still in the hospital with his arms cast up, so he still can't use them. And then we get to see Kirishima and the crew. When he wakes up, he sees these apples or whatever on the desk next to him. He's like, eat them when you wake up. And it's from his mom. And I was like, Deku's mom. I love her. She's too pure for this world. I swear to God, Deku, you're gonna give this poor woman a heart attack or something. Like seriously, man. Like, seriously. After everything Deku's done, I swear to God, this man's gonna give his poor mother a heart attack. She's gonna, get old and gray like Aunt May when she's like, what? How old is what? She's, in her 40s now? She's gonna look like she's Aunt May when she's, in her 50s. And so, Kirishima and the rest of the guys show up, and they're like, hey, Deku, what's good, man? And, they tell him everything about, Kirishima actually tells him about how they were walking in earlier, and Todoroki was also there, and they find out that, Momo, All Might and the cop was talking to Momo, and he tells him, that about the tracker that she created, put on one of the Nomus to find out where the League of Villains are, and he gives her the device to track it to where, the tracker is now located. And so he's like, now that we know where it is, we need to get involved. We need to get there and save Bakugo. Ida's like, oh, come on, man. Like, no, this is not our time. Let the heroes take care of this. And like, man, I was in a building doing nothing. I cannot just sit here while Bakugo is over there, doing God knows what to Bakugo, which we all see Bakugo. He's kind of just, pretty much just handcuffed, they're doing nothing. They're not like torturing him or doing some psychological, I don't know, warfare, trying to turn this. They're just kind of chilling and sweating a little bit, And so everyone then agrees that what, he tells Deku Deku, we can't save Bakugo. He's still in our grasp. We can do it. So Deku's in, Kirishima's in, Todoroki, the rest of Ida also agrees. And yeah, that's where the episode ends. So yeah, starting next week is going to be the start of the Bakugo Retrieval arc, which, by the way, let me tell you guys this right now, Chibi actually talked about this in his review of last week's episode. If you were expecting Hiroaka to turn into Naruto, where, after Bakugo gets, captured, he ends up, he ends up joining, a League of Villains, and then for the rest of the series, it's just, Deku trying to return Bakugo to UA, and then at the end of the series, we have this legendary duel that rivals Naruto versus Sasuke, filled with, flashbacks to their previous duel, and the art animation spectacular, especially by the Goto Studio Bones. The music's great. You'll be in tears by the end of it, and you'll be like, that was a damn good fight. It's not happening. The Bakugo is not joining the League of Villains. He's staying with UA. So if you were kind of scared, oh man, this guy turned to Naruto, I don't want this to turn to Naruto where we got there's a huge influx of yaoi fucking shippers and yaoi Naruto x Sasuke dojins and fanfics and all that shit. Don't worry, it ain't happening. Bakugo will return. So if you were scared for that happening and you were kind of pissed off about oh god, this is turning into Naruto, don't worry, it ain't happening. Yeah. So overall, loves that the music for this episode was also spectacular and an amazing voice acting from the dub. Great job at the guys at Funimation. So overall, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, feel good below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.